Hi guys, so I'm doing a reading that I'm really excited to do. And I had done a reading on, I'm doing a reading essentially on Stacey Abrams. She won the Democratic primaries yesterday in Georgia, and she's officially the Democratic candidate for Georgia to be Georgia's governor. She's African American. She's a graduate of Yale Law School. And also, can you imagine? Okay, let me tell you about this. When I found out this was amazing. So while she was at Yale, the Yale Law School, she wrote something I don't even know how to explain. It's like some complicated like texts on tax law. And at the same time, because that's not enough, of course, she wrote romance novels. Can you imagine she's a very interesting, extremely qualified person. Amazing. Okay. So I thought, oh wow, she's such an interesting person. You know what I mean? How sort of like, not to say that it's like she's clearly an amazing politician, but I feel like she's an interesting person on her own, regardless of all. And I feel like, anyway, so I did a reading on her, right? I don't know if you were watching my channel back when Doug Jones won. And I remember one of the first, you probably already know this, but I think the third reading I ever did was on Roy Moore, okay? And so Roy Moore, and I remember doing this because I was like testing whatever if I could do this, and I was like, well, this guy Roy Moore, I never heard of Doug Jones. The Roy Moore is clearly, he was like had like 30% advantage in the polls. I was like, this guy's clearly going to win, so let me just do a reading that's going to confirm something obvious. And that was like when it showed that there was all these secrets that were going to come out and his career was going to come to an end. So I did that, and eventually it happened. And so I remember I did a reading on Doug Jones right before the election that still showed that he could win. And when he won, I remember I did a video crying because I was so happy. And on the next day, I had somehow I don't know why, where I found her for some reason, either on Twitter or some website. And I did a reading on her, and I never recorded the video because I also thought then it was like nobody knew about her. It was still kind of like, maybe she was like, could be too small. I don't know. But anyway, the reading showed that she would win and that a lot of revelations would come out about the Russia stuff that would change everything, okay? So this was, and I don't know, you guys have to, because what I did was like I don't know if you remember, there was a time when I made these websites, like kind of like websites with the cards on this. So that's the format that I had for it. I just didn't record the video. So anyway, so this is what I saw then. Let's see what the cards say now, okay? Because I think she's amazing, but it would be incredible if she wins, considering Georgia and all the issues of the election. And by the way, guys, of course, I've talked about this before, where I feel like Georgia has a concentration of like shady election machines. Okay, those voting machines are like shady, and I think what's her name, Karen Handel's husband, had something to do. Karen Handel won over John Ossoff. Okay, I thought it was a little weird. And then it turns out her husband owned like some company that made voting machine. It's very shady, guys. And Georgia, I don't want to get into like talk about all this stuff, but I remember reading this thing where like the voting commission found that there was like voter data had been played with or whatever. There were data security breaches, and the Georgia's voting commission or whatever never gave this information. It was like, those are very shady things. So this is another reason why I'm like, it would be amazing if she won, not just because in terms of voting, of actual voting numbers, but because it's a state where there's a lot of like shady voting shadiness. Okay. So, you know what I mean? Like all this, like, I've said before, guys, not in this reading that I did recently about the GOP and their indictments, that there's like this whole, like, essentially kind of like a mafia of like the combined gerrymandering, voter suppression, all these schemes. And I believe Georgia is a place where that happens a lot. Okay. So essentially, what I'm saying all of this just to say that If she actually wins, to me, that would mean that all these issues have been addressed to some degree. Okay. Because like if nothing changes, then even if she has actual true popularity, it's likely that they could try to do something to change her numbers, the machine or whatever. So I would like to know about her chances. And then in conjunction with this, or after I do the reading on her in the same video, I will also ask about the voting irregularities, if this will come out before her elections. Okay, before the governor election, okay? So I'm gonna do the cards, guys. As you know, this new style that I do the readings now, it's like not as many cards, but I close my eyes, try to do it soon, okay? And like I said, I'm gonna do Stacey Abrams, and then in conjunction with her election, also ask about the voting shadiness going on in Georgia, if that's gonna come out, okay? All right, I'm gonna lower this, okay? All right. So dear cards, please tell us about Stacey Abrams. She's an amazing person, and she's a great candidate, okay? So let's see what are her chances of becoming governor, the first African American woman governor of Georgia. Oh, look, this is a people working together, a group of people. World upside down, okay. The devil, ooh, it's kind of heavy, guys. Okay, let's see. People working together to turn the world upside down and create lies, okay. All right, let's see a few more cards here. Just, oh, look, magician. Oh, look, quick, something happening fast. Poverty ups to create poverty in a way. Okay, let's see. I'm just, as you guys know, at first I look at the cards independently, and then I see them more as a story, okay, in terms of the question. So I feel like here, guys, we have a group of people working together to build something. Magician is a card of the ability to turn ideas into reality, okay? And we have the world upside down. Okay, that's interesting because the culmination. It would also suggest that there's a group of people here who want to turn up the world upside down, and the devil is essentially lies, okay? And it's upside down. So in order to turn the world upside down, they lie, they create lies. And then below we have quickly the world, it's like the world upside down quickly, lies, and wanting to create poverty for people, okay? Which I interpret this as saying the good people are here working together to create change. And they're almost guys are really like a battle between good and evil. That's what it looks like. So quickly, this is something quickly happening swiftly or with energy, that this has to be revealed in order for the good people to win. So it's almost like the battle here is not even necessarily about one candidate versus another. It's about the dark versus the light, or the truth versus the lie. Okay? So that's what it's framing as. It's not the full story. Okay, let's see here. Stacey Abrams. What are her chances of becoming governor in Georgia? Okay. Will she become the governor of Georgia? Older man. Okay. Oh, foreign influence. Okay. Guilty. Ha 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 ha. I think I know what that means. What? Oh, look. Good person. Dog or loyalists. The boss or money. conversations. Okay. Okay. All right. So I would think, you know, looking at these lilies and dog, and then ship and bear, cross and birds, I would think this means the loyalists to probably Trump, the money they received from Russia, and guilty conversations. Okay, so I would think this is telling us what's coming out before. Let's find out more here. Okay. So Stacey Abrams is governor of Georgia. 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 Happiness, okay. A long way. Court. Okay. Like, just as I've been doing with the other ones, since I put more mean person, let's find out more about the mean person. Okay. Big hope, big water. Okay. Oh, and I have forgot to say, guys, I believe she's going to run against a man, a Republican man, okay? That could be him. Oh, prison. Really? No way. What? No. He's going to prison? Her. My God, look. Oh no, what? Oh my God, guys, this is amazing. Okay, guys, this is amazing. This is amazing. Because I just want to show you, I'm going to talk about this particular part of the reading and show you the cards. Okay, this is great happiness. I tend to interpret as fortune or money, okay, because it's abundance in general. And then below we have the man. And like I've said before, her opponent would be a man. Of course, he's a Republican. And then, as you know, whenever I get the basic man or female or women card, I try to get a card on top to understand. So this is the man, okay, and there's big hope, big water, like the changing, the blue wave, okay, literally, okay. And then here we have next to the fortune card, I think it relates to the man. This is a long way, something that, like, I feel like this man's either campaign funds or something about how he got his money is under investigation, because we have the prison here, guys. Okay. Now, guys, as I'm seeing this, I'm getting the image of Nick Ayers. I did a reading on Nick Ayers before. Okay. He's the Mike Pence friend. Ooh, baby. Ooh. So anyway, and I remember now roughly reading one of the long articles about him discussed that he had been working as a fundraiser in I believe it's Georgia. Oh, that's right. He's from Georgia. That's right, Marietta. Oh, that's right. Interesting. Okay. That's right, guys. This is it, because my mind is coming to him. And I'm like, oh, that's right. This is why. Like, there's something about how the money was raised for this guy that is going to be found to be illegal. Okay, court here. How this guy raised money, her opponent. Okay. And here we have problem, okay, gloomy thoughts. So it's going to obviously create issues, like what's going to happen. You know, we thought, obviously you would think Georgia would be a very Republican, it is a very Republican state. But if this person goes to jail, or if the fundraising mechanisms that happened for this person are exposed, as it looks like here, and this person gets the big wave in prison, it's like, it's tough, okay? And it's showing the same thing that the Lenormands showed here. Now, interesting, because as you know, I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about Georgia other than, like, you know, the things I'm telling you. I mean, in terms of, like, politically and so forth. Okay, so, all right. Okay, now the last part of the card, this is going on. It's a little long now. Paying attention but I feel, guys, it's important. I realize, you know, I like to try to make the cards a little shorter. But sometimes, yeah, I feel like the tarot is almost like the springboard to closing my eyes. I do need to have somewhere to start from. Okay, it's like, I'm sure I sort of could just open my eyes, but I think the problem is, like, it's a little bit like you could, if you could sort of see anything, you would not make sense. It's like you have to like be specific if you can, okay? So understanding this context here, we'll see more, okay? So it's essentially telling me, it hasn't said anything about her. Maybe I should ask about her directly when I open my eyes, but it's just talking about the actual process of the race itself, okay? And in a way, guys, this is kind of like similar to, it's actually different. No, it's a little different. I was thinking of Roy Moore because Roy Moore, it's like you have these like personal life secrets, okay? I think Roy Moore is also involved with the Russian stuff too, okay? But here, just because, you know, you saw who was supporting him, but at the same time here we have the guilt coming out about someone, and this is going to affect things. Okay, so this is lack of loyalty, okay? I'm going to lower this, okay, so we can like try to be quick. Okay, revelation of something illegal. Oh, donations. Okay, this is a quid pro quo card in Sibylla. This could be younger woman. I wonder if it could be her, or if it has something to do with like something in the beginning. They don't love. Okay, they're upset. Okay, they break. Okay, interesting. Okay, hope. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like, guys, what I'm getting here, okay, is that the scandal, the revelation of the illegality is going to turn, this is a love upside down. So people are going to be really upset. And it's showing in a way that they're going to turn from like loyalty. Like if you think, okay, what is that they are in a way, it's literally like, what is it? Like loyalty like this would be disloyal in a way, right? So in a way, they're not as loyal to the person because they realized that there's illegality in terms of campaign financing, okay, or like shady money. So there's a new beginning or a new person, and they're upset with what they have now, and she brings hope. So this is her chance. Okay, now, to me, it set up the stage of all these events, and it's not telling me what happens to her directly, but I am going to close my eyes, guys, because you know what? I have to trust what the cards say. Like, I can't, like, force, tell me about her. Like, you know, let's see. It just gave us the story of how this race is going to be, okay? So, all right, so please, dear universe, God, please wrap a protective bubble of light around me and help me with providing the clearest images so that I can understand the story clearly and that I can share the story with my audience so that we can have a clear grasp of what is going to happen. So it's showing her that people, it's showing like she's on the TV, Stacey's on TV, and there's like a bar where like traditional bar where like white guys talk and they're like, oh, look at those, you know, the black people there, like think they could do whatever. They're kind of like, whatever, look at her, she thinks, it's like, they're like kind of like, making fun of her, whatever. But this is before, okay, this is like, when is it? Late September, October, I feel like this whole thing with George is going to explode later, like almost like between September and October. And even though she was like doing pretty well, I feel like things are going to be like the same bar where they were like watching these things, you know, those guys with like traditional like white guys, like country clubs, stuff like that. The same place where they were like looking at her with a bit of disdain. Now they're shocked at everything that transpired, okay? Because they're like drained from the whole thing of like, oh, and they've seen that guy Nick in like on handcuffs. And like people that they thought they could trust, they can't trust anymore. And like the secrets they had or have been exposed. And at the same time, that the people who are almost winning, they're clinging to hate. They're like, oh, look at them. It's the Democrats. It's so-and-so. It's like, you know, it's always blaming somebody. It's showing that on the Republican side, the voters, the basic voters are tired. They're tired of the hate. It drains them. And they're like, listen, it has to be more. You can't treat us like that. They have to start telling the truth. So since it's sort of like they go to the very lowest and it comes up pretty late, this whole scandal with like the fund and fundraising. And the voting machines, there's somebody, oh guys, it's showing me the voting machines. There's news about the voting machines. Like they hired like a specialist from Russia to fix the machines, and that's like he implanted the things. I don't know, guys. I know it sounds crazy, but it's showing me this thing like on news, like, oh, they, he put the chip or whatever it was, and they could like remote control it, and they talked about it. There was like this information they knew, blah blah blah, like they knew a lot of details about the voting districts, and they were able to change the numbers in voting districts, and they were actually able to go in specific voter files and change this and da 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 da. So like it's showing that not only the scandal of the fundraising, but also the issue with the voting machines. Okay, so this is a huge blow to people, and they're a little bit like a person who had a like was hit by a car or something. They like kind of dazed. And so Stacey, it showed that she has like great energy. She's very, very positive. So that whenever like they turn on the news, they try to hate her. And they're like, she's very like, she's so thankful and she's so happy. Not happy like, oh, ha, ha, but kind of like her energy is uplifting. Like I feel like when they look at the candidate, like, oh, it's you, it's him, whatever. And they look at her, they're like, you know what? And then somebody's like, well, actually, my cousin went to Yale and she was there and she was really amazing and all these like there's like people start to like it's not that their hearts melt or anything, it's more like it becomes an issue of energy and they're tired and they're exhausted by the hate and the lies. So they're like, this woman, she's not lying. If anything, she went to the school that she said she went to, she helped people, and she wrote her book. She is who she is. She is what she. It's like saying like she is who she is. She's not pretending. And it comes out stuff about her that wasn't even in the campaign. She helped people that she doesn't talk about it. Like other people helped, and like the stories are kind of amazing. Like what happens. But I feel like the thing with her is that she really is not attacking the racist people. She's not, she's like, thank you. I know she understands how to handle this in a way that is most people, it's very, I know for me, that would be very hard. Like, she's like able to talk in a way that wants people to unite and to feel like they're not going to be judged, even if they had voted for a horrible person before. So it's like, it's almost like, it feels like, again, the voters almost like had no option. There's going to be very little left in the Georgia Republican because it's showing that over there it was like a big hub for the Republicans in the South and stuff like that. So it's like very yeah, it's like very infested. Like there's very little left. Like after all these like charges are filed and everything. And okay, tell me about the Mueller. Yeah, I feel like this guy is gonna be, Nick Ayers is gonna be involved, with the Russians and everything, that fundraising, the money transfers, money laundry, whatever, right? And then at the same time, it's like he falls first, and then like it goes to the states, okay? The FBI is going at every state. There's like a commission on voting, like voting law. I don't know exactly. Like, of course, the government hasn't changed it yet, but it's almost like they have this like special section in this. They're not talking about it, but there is already like a voting state by state kind of like commission. Not commission. How do I explain it? Because they're saying, yeah, the states have like, what is it? They have a certain degree of autonomy, but at the same time, they think these things are federal crimes. So like they're like have this like task force. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like it's like part of the Mueller investigation because they're saying like it's looking at the influences of the election. But as it goes, looking at the specific numbers in the specific states, it looks into all these things and like, and I think it sees, it's like it starts to connect and like that's it because there's these things I believe I don't know, as you know, I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like these are federal crimes. And that's why they're able to indict people. And I said before, and it's showing me again, Rick Gates talks a lot about it, and I think Rick Gates gives the info about Nick Ayers and his schemes. Okay, and for some reason, guys, I'm getting. Oh, by the way, I have to do a reading on them. Like again, an update on the Koch brothers. Okay, so anyway, because they show up on my mind here. Okay, somehow they seem to know stuff. I don't know. So anyway, so that's that, guys. This is how I believe she wins. And it's like, okay, tell me the day. I think, tell me, show me. And I feel like, yeah, she's celebrating. There's like a blue, there's like a little, like a stage in a public place. And it's like she has a long, like an extended family. her hair is like out, she's like curly and everything, like kind of like this, like yeah, there's like a blue cloth, and her whole family, everybody celebrate. But I feel like it's almost like a park, or like it's not inside. It's like a party or something, like a barbecue or something. When she wins, but it's like such a different. I feel like people are. I'm not saying they're like, oh, we did it right. Like, it's like it's not that it. Again, because people had no choice. They feel like they were betrayed. The sense of betrayal here is strong. Okay, from the Republican base, even the ones that were like, and they're like, I can't believe it. That's why I voted for Joe Ossoff. That's why he didn't win. That's fucked up. Like, they get angry, okay, because like they don't know what's like. Wait, I voted and it didn't count. What the hell? Like, you know what I mean? So this is why it's like, because there's so many people indicted over there related to election fraud, that like at least she was not involved in this. So they feel like they can trust her. Also because, like I said, her personality is very like, it is what it is. What you see is what you get. She's not like pretending. She's not fake. So this is why, yeah, I think it's like, but a lot it has, the guys, like I said, there's going to be a lot of indictments. There's going to be arrests. There's going to be a lot of things they're going to change before it happens that she becomes governor. But I think, yes, it's very likely. Okay, but it's showing here, interesting, because it didn't show her like, oh, look, normally when you ask about a person, it shows like, the person is figured somewhere. I think, this is her, actually, could be her. Even though she's not like super young, but in relative terms, she is, okay? Anyway, so I believe that that's that, okay? And like I said, it depends on, like pretty much every other Democratic win, it has almost more to do with what happens to the opponent than with the candidate herself, okay? Because it's like, everything is contextual, and because it's like the other ones are involved in basically crimes, it's like she becomes the only alternative. Not only it's because they also run out of possibilities to like counter this guy who's involved in these things. Okay, so yeah, and as it's showing, he's involved in stuff. He's been involved in shady stuff for a long time, so it's not like he can like escape. Okay, so, and at the same time, he's very well known. So that's what I think, guys. It's like very unlikely. No, unlikely is not the right word. Because I see her on stage, like hugging her family, and like, wow, can you believe you guys have been there all along? And of course, she's been preparing for this her whole life. She has a lot of political experience. She went to law school, like I said. But it's more like there was a roller coaster of events that helped her too. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like it's showing, it's like the right historical moment for this to happen. Okay, so it's almost like this whole thing showing like the dirt had to be exposed in order for like the new to come in. And that's what I think. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. Okay, it was a little long because I feel like the question it was multifaceted. So it's a little longer than usual. It's 28 minutes. Okay, all right, have a good day. Bye.